welcome to my video on breastfeeding a toddler and a 1-year-old and how that is going for us. David is currently 14 months old and we are still breastfeeding, which is awesome. And I've had some questions about like when we're weaning and how breastfeeding is going. So here we go for what's going on with us. The initial goal when I first started breastfeeding was to make it to a year. Like that was my big thing. I wanted to breastfeed for at least a year, and we hit that year. And then after that, I'm like, okay, so do we just like wean now because he's a year old, or do we just keep going with things, or like what are we gonna do? And basically, I've just kept going with things. I didn't really see a point for us personally to wean now, because I was completely happy still breastfeeding, and Davy was still happy nursing. So I'm like, why mess with something that works really well for us? So we still breastfeed, and he still nurses like 5 to 6 times a day. He had a slight regression. I love saying the word regression. I don't know, I say this like in every video. But about a couple weeks ago, he started waking up anywhere between like 5 and 6 in the morning. And if he woke up that early, he was just super cranky, and you could tell like he wasn't ready to get up. So instead of like us just getting up for the day, I tried nursing him and putting him back down. And so that's what's happening now. He's getting up around like 5 or 5:30 in the morning and wants to nurse, and then he goes back to sleep till like 7 or 7:30. So I'm not too keen on that because I didn't really want to like night nurse. I know that's not really like night nursing, but for me, I consider it getting him up nursing and then going back to sleep. So that's been what's working with us the past couple of weeks. I think it might have to do with him teething a little bit too, and that's what's waking him up. I'm not sure, but he's definitely not ready to get up at that hour, so I think he's hungry and wants to eat and then go back to sleep. I don't know. But that's what we're doing. We stopped nursing at night when he was like 10 months old, so he's pretty much sleeping through the night since then. And he just nurses whenever he wants to during the day. We kind of have a regular schedule that we've had for months now, which I've talked about in a previous video, but he like wakes up at that early feeding now, nurses. He then, when he's ready to get up for the day, he nurses. Around lunchtime, he nurses. We have like a little nursing session right before his afternoon nap around like 2 or 3. Then he nurses at dinner, and then he nurses before bed. So we are still nursing a lot throughout the day, and that's what works with him. It's not really ever been a comfort thing. I don't know if it's turning into one. He's kind of like wanting me now for comfort rather than for food. But that's what we're doing now. I tried introducing whole milk to him a couple weeks ago, and he hated it. He had no interest in taking milk from a sippy cup, and he will not do bottles anymore, which is really weird. Like if I leave and then someone tries to feed him a bottle, he does not want it at all. So that's really interesting. I haven't tried putting my breast milk in a sippy cup yet, but I think I'm going to start with that and see if he'll take it. And I might start mixing breast milk with milk, just so we have an option if I'm not here. But it seems like if I'm not here, he doesn't want milk at all, which is interesting. But I would like to be able to like leave for the evening and not have to like nurse him and then put him down to bed. Because if we try giving him, not me, but like if my mom tries giving him a bottle and then putting him down, he does not want the bottle at all and just cries, and then he wakes up in the middle of the night hungry because he didn't have his milk before bed. So I would really like to do that, and then I can still continue to nurse, but I would really like him to take some type of milk before bed, just so it gives me a little more freedom that I don't have to be the one putting him down to bed every night. But yeah, that's what's going on with us right now. Let me know if you guys have any tips for transitioning a breastfed baby, it's like toddler, to like transitioning milk, because I have not been successful. Like, what did you guys do? Did you like give whole milk in a bottle? Did you try doing it in a sippy cup? Did you mix like breast milk with whole milk, or like what did you guys do? And also, I think I'm gonna try some other things besides cow's milk. I might be doing like coconut milk or almond milk. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback on, I guess, the milk that you feed your baby, because I think I'm gonna try doing some different things. But yeah, as far as weaning, I'm not exactly sure when we are gonna wean. My goal after we hit 1 year was to breastfeed through our trip that we're going on. In a couple weeks, we're going to be taking a trip to Florida, and we're going to be going on an airplane, and we're going to be staying in Florida for a week. So I wanted to at least like breastfeed through that trip. So I figured I'm not going to be like wanting to worry about like transitioning during that period to kind of comfort him. I'll have my boobs to help me comfort him if he needs it. So that's been like my second goal, is to kind of get him through that trip and then to see what happens after that. My biggest concern right now, it's not really about breastfeeding and my relationship with breastfeeding with him. It's more about now getting my cycles back on track. to try to conceive again. And I talked about this in a previous video, like my TTC video, about how my cycles are all out of whack, and they kind of are. And I can also tell I'm kind of going through like some dry nursing a little bit. Like I can definitely, Davy's chewing on something. I can definitely tell where my cycle is and how my milk supply significantly drops at times. And that's really frustrating for me and for Davy, because he kind of gets frustrated, like there's no milk coming out. So I think my body is still kind of trying to figuring out, okay, are you nursing? Are you going to try to have a baby? Like, what are you doing? So I do feel like in the next couple of months, I do kind of feel like I need to wean if I'm going to be able to try to conceive our second baby, because I'm not sure if I'm ovulating right now. My cycles are really crazy. So that's been my concern right now, and it kind of upsets me a little bit knowing that I do have to wean him just so we can have another baby. But I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do to kind of get my cycles back on track so I can get pregnant. I know some people do get pregnant and then nurse and then like tandem nurse, and that's amazing and wonderful, but I know that's not for me. And I personally don't think my body, the tripod, Davy, don't touch it. I personally think my body is not going to get pregnant while nursing, because I don't know, I just have that feeling. Another topic I wanted to touch briefly on, I kind of mentioned a little bit in my TTC update, was about my weight and my weight gain, and how nursing is definitely starting to take a toll on my body. It seems like I cannot eat enough food, and I am not keeping weight on at all. I am definitely below my pre-pregnancy weight, which I was really, really tiny to begin with. And with breastfeeding, I think it's just taking a big toll on my body. I am constantly eating. I am constantly drinking water. And I don't know, it just feels like everything that I'm putting into my body just goes right back into milk for Davy, because I am nursing him so often. A challenge, I guess, is trying to keep some weight on. And I still am taking my prenatal vitamin. And another concern is like my hair. I mentioned this before. My hair isn't growing. And I honestly think it's because my body isn't like keeping nutrients in. They're all going to Davy. So I would love to hear back from you guys. Again, I go to you guys for everything, because you always have great comments, and I love this community and how we can just like help each other out and give each other ideas and suggestions. But did any of you guys go through that where you just felt like everything that you were putting into your body was just going out through your milk and you guys like weren't retaining anything? That's been kind of interesting lately with me, and having to kind of make sure I'm eating enough food and giving myself nutrients, because I feel like everything is going to Davy. So let me know what you guys did, like if you took another supplement, if you like introduced a certain food into your diet. I don't know. I would like to hear back from you guys if that was ever something that you ever had trouble with. If you guys have any questions or want me to talk about something different in another breastfeeding update, please let me know. And thanks as always for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!